All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, fellow Pandemonium travelers, this is Seattle Pandemonium Shutdown, day 147 by my count. It's a beautiful summer Friday. It's too bad the world ended. We'd be out enjoying it. Anyways, what is going down? I guess we're at, or over, 150,000 deaths nationwide. Now, as other people have pointed out, there's various fuckery with the numbers. This is why everybody is, I don't know, everybody's wrong. Like, if we do more testing, we reveal more cases. If we reveal more cases, then we will then have more deaths associated with the coronavirus. But we also had people like Herman Cain passing away with COVID, but he also was in his 70s and had liver cancer or something. So it's, comorbidities or whatever. I don't know, it's hard to fully understand, like, the nature of how dangerous this virus is. It's just not straightforward. And that's what's really annoying, is that you get this number, 150,000. Well, okay, but who's getting sick? And does it justify all of this stuff? And this is the other issue with, like, now we're talking about mail-in voting, and that's going to be a complete disaster. And I don't think we're even going to really do that. A few states do that, but there's already proof of, fuckery. But if you can wear a mask and go to the grocery store, then you can wear a mask and go vote. That's kind of where I'm at. I mean, if the masks are really that helpful, and we can go to the grocery store where thousands of other people have gone in the course of the day or days, extend the voting day so that it's not just one day that you can vote. I don't know. We can get creative, right? What I want to talk about is the local stuff. Seattle stuff. I mean, it's going like national and international. What the city has proposed. There's a proposal to defund the police, fund a bunch of civic programs, and there are some writers in there that are just chef's kiss, just fantastic. Reallocating the local housing stock. That's weird verbiage to me, and giving the housing to those who don't have it. So they're basically going to give everyone a domicile of some kind, out of like unoccupied residences in, I guess, the city limits. I don't know. I don't know, but that seems like a terrible idea and probably illegal. And I don't know what to do with this stuff. Like, the defunding the police thing, I've gone over this like Groundhog Day so many times. At the point where you abolish law enforcement, or at least like the presence of law enforcement as it currently stands, every unlawful encounter between what you would call a legitimate citizen and a criminal, the responsibility for their own property, health, safety, or the safety of others falls on the citizen to essentially engage in vigilantism. I mean, that's what you're basically asking people to do, because there won't be anyone to call, or there won't be anyone to effectively call, right? Which the argument, of course, is that they aren't effective already, but, I think you get the point. So yeah, what this actually is going to look like, and this is a proposal again. This has not actually been voted on, which I think everyone does need to chill out a little bit. Like, stupid policy gets proposed all the time, right? Here's another angle on the defund the police thing that I found interesting, which is that the city police budget includes things like pensions and insurance and all this stuff, and I believe, like, your spouse can continue receiving your pension after you die, kind of thing. I'm not sure what the actual pension structure is like. It might be different in different cities. Different arrangements are made with police unions and whatnot. But all this money, their pay and their benefits and their pensions and all this stuff, is a form of wealth redistribution from inside the cities to the suburbs, basically. Because cops who police, South Central LA probably don't live in South Central LA. So they take the tax money from the city, give it to these people to then spend it in their neighborhoods and on wealthier homes, and then the property taxes are tied to the local schools, so the local schools are better. So you have this continuous system of, it's a wealth redistribution. I heard this argument. I feel like there's something kind of wrong with it, but I can't quite put my finger on what it is. I mean, it's one of the issues with it is, if you want to do that but take that money and put it somewhere else, you're still doing wealth redistribution. Maybe that's kind of what it is, which is arguably socialism or communism, socialism, but is arguably just theft out reallocation, because taxation is not voluntary, so therefore, the taxation is theft argument. So, but I don't know what the actual, so this is again one of those problems where I saw someone today post a meme. Defunding the police doesn't mean the police won't have funding. Like, then don't say defund the police. Like, ugh. Like, that's just bad worded. It's bad branding, right? And I've seen people say, no, we want 100% defunding of the police. People were pressuring that Sawant woman to say 100%, not 50%, not 75, not 90. They want 100% defunding. Okay, I mean, I don't think you can get that, because I don't think enough people support that level of restructuring of law enforcement. And of course, the joke is they're gonna send out social workers when someone's committing a crime. That's not, that's a little bit glib. I mean, it's sort of funny and kind of what's being proposed, but there are times where you have someone in crisis, is kind of the term that people use nowadays. You have someone having some kind of psychotic episode. Maybe you need an officer there, but the officer shouldn't be trying to talk down a schizophrenic. Why would you think that they would be capable of such a thing? They're capable of probably detaining them and restraining them, but then what happens is then you are committing violence on this person because they're having a psychotic episode and, I don't know, disturbing the peace or or what is it called? A conduct charge? Disorderly conduct. But they're having a psychotic episode. You locking them in jail isn't going to help them stop having psychotic episodes. So again, we have to approach these things like adults. And on the one hand, I find the concept frightening in the way that the city is going about it. Like, I think that's going to lead to a spike in crime, and not just property crimes, but other crimes too. Rape and theft and murder and everything else. They're having a spike in murders in New York City because the police are basically muzzled right now. Or they're disinterested. I'm not quite sure what's going on. Portland, same thing. Spike in homicides, like more than they've ever seen before. Why? Because the police are defending the courthouse from getting burned down, which they should do, but people are also just taking advantage of the pandemonium, and I guess settling some scores is how it looks. But I just think we will see a huge spike in crime. People who can afford it will buy private security. People who can't will be stuck in lawless hellscapes where, they will be tasked with engaging in vigilantism to keep themselves and others and their property safe. And that's not fair to do to people who are not prepared to do that. Financially, morally, maybe? Like, you're putting people in a position where they are going to have to commit violence because we're conditioned to outsource our violence making to the state. And so now, I don't know, man. I just don't think... this is like a human nature problem, right? I've gone over this a little bit before. It is a human nature problem. Like, if you believe that people are good, they just need a little help, and then they won't commit crimes... I guess so, but a whole bunch of people went out and looted over the last few months. And not all of them needed that stuff when they're looting surfboards in SoCal. You know what I mean? That's just crime because I want stuff. You don't need a surfboard. It's just, I don't know, a weird kind of altruism thing that I just don't think is going to... Let me adjust you a little bit. Are you crooked this whole time? I don't think it's going to play out the way people think it is. I think that you're just going to ring a dinner bell for criminals to just start victimizing the shit out of people. And then you're going to get more like rush hour Rambos basically walking around armed. And we've seen how that plays out when people are just open carrying and there's tensions and stuff. The guy got shot down in, I forget, what was it, Houston? Dallas? What was his name? I forgot his name already. Guy had the AK and he got shot, and it'll probably be ruled self-defense because it was angry mob. I don't know. The kids in the chop that got killed. Probably more murders that happened. You just don't know about it. I don't know. You have to... I don't know how you even would study such a thing. I think I've seen people reference like, oh, this study kind of shows like what crime will be like when what? When a city like Seattle does a thing that's never been done before. I mean, maybe maybe everything just works out. Maybe the people in this city are more, maybe it's true. Maybe people just need a little financial assistance, some health care, some mental health care, some social workers available to just, to try to help them with things. And then they won't commit crimes out of desperation. But not all crimes are crimes of desperation. People are just opportunists. So, yeah. And I mean, I feel like this is all also masking the giant budget shortfall. I need to get these numbers drilled into my head if I'm gonna run for mayor successfully. The huge budget shortfall at the state level, at the city level, and this is gonna be every city, county, and state in the country. Commerce is dead. Travel, tourism is dead. Lots of industries and businesses are dead. Property tax or sales taxes gone. Gas taxes gone. Huge budget shortfalls all across the board. And increased spending on things like unemployment and rebuilding the cities after they've been torched. I think the Fed's just going to turn on the printing machine. Money machine goes brrr, right? I think it's the defund the police thing is kind of a distraction to do a sort of shell game with the budget. Go, see, we defunded the police. Didn't you see what you wanted? And then we're going to use it to fund all these other things like Metro. Okay, I guess no one's going to need Metro because no one's going anywhere, but I don't know. See how I'm not helpful today. I'm not helpful, I'm not hopeful. A few months ago, I was cautiously optimistic, but of course that was when we were just dealing with a pandemic, not a pandemic and a pandemonium. This pandemonium is driving people over the edge, and they were already on it. Lots of people going cuckoo, corona crazies. All right, that's enough from me for one day. Maybe I'll do a little drive around tonight and look at the dead, dying, frightening ghost city. All right, bye.